Okay. All right. This teaching is going to be a teaching on how is the time of great tribulation shortened for the elect or the church's sake. And you guys have to understand something. When uh, the Bible talks about the elect, it's talking about the church. The elect is the church. And I'm going to cover real quick. Might need my glasses tonight. I don't know, just for a minute. In verse, oh, that's better. 22 of Matthew 24. And it said, except those days, in those days, you go to verse 21 of Matthew 24, and you'll see they was talking about the time of great tribulation, a time such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So when we get down to verse 22, it says, and except those days that we just referenced, the time of great tribulation, should be shortened, that should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So what we assume, because we know just reading through scripture in general, that the reign of the Antichrist is 3.5 years long. The beginning of his reign begins the time of great tribulation. The time of great tribulation continues on for 3.5 years, for the entire reign of the Antichrist. So we just assume that the time of great tribulation is only 3.5 years long. Now, here's the problem with that. Let me read it to you. In Daniel chapter 7, verses 21 through 25, right? It says this, Daniel 7, make sure I'm in Daniel 7, 21 through 25. I beheld the same horn which made war with the saints and prevailed against them. That horn is the Antichrist. Verse 22 of Daniel chapter 7. Until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. That's the church. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. That's the church. Verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse or different from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Verse 24. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, the Antichrist. And he shall be diverse or different from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. Verse 25, I want you to see this. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hands. This is what I want you to see. Until a time, times, and a dividing of time. The saints will be given into the hands of who? The Antichrist for time, dividing time. It's 3.5 years. So, we have come to the conclusion in our teachings that the time of great tribulation is only 3.5 years long. But here's the question. These are the things that the Lord showed me that most people just don't see. It's not that they can't see it. They just don't think about it. So, if the saints of the Most High, which is the church, which is the elect, is given into the hands of the Antichrist for his entire reign, and the time of great tribulation is only 3.5 years long, but the saints, the elect, the church is here for the entire reign of the Antichrist, given into his hands for his entire reign, how was the time of great tribulation shortened for the church? How was it shortened? We went through the whole thing. We went through the entire 3.5 year reign of the Antichrist, if the great and the entire time of great tribulation. If the reign of the Antichrist, the 3.5 year reign of the Antichrist is all of the time of great tribulation that there will be, but it's not. The great tribulation is 3.5 years long. Then the church is removed out of the time of great tribulation at the end of the 7 years. You'll find that in Revelation 14, verses 14 through 16. A great multitude is taken out of the earth, harvested with the sickle. They're removed from the earth. And you know, I have people that I'll ask them. I say, is there a harvest in Revelation 14 through 16 of the earth? And is there a sickle used instead of a trumpet? And are they taken back to heaven instead of remaining here in the earth? Right? And I will have people that say they're Christians, probably are, maybe, I don't know, that cannot admit that's exactly what Revelation chapter 14, verses 14 through 16 says, that there's a harvesting of the earth, because it will change what they believe. Nobody never told them that. Nobody never showed it to them in the word. So when you point it out to them, if for them to say that, they know it's going to change something they believe, and they won't do it. So anyway, if the time of great tribulation is only 3.5 years long, how is it shortened for the church? We went through the entire 3.5 years of great tribulation. Remember, the saints of the Most High are given into the hands of the Antichrist for what? How long? His entire reign. The way it's shortened is this. The time of great tribulation is longer than 3.5 years. The church goes through 3.5 years, right? Jesus comes at the end of 7 years. He removes us, takes us back to heaven, right? In the time of great tribulation or great troubles. That's what the word tribulation means, troubles. Continues on longer, past 3.5 years, past the end of the 7 years, with the trumpets, which happen after the 7-year period is over, and the bowls of God's wrath, which happen after the 7 years are over. The trumpets are the wrath of the Lamb, and the bowls are the wrath of God. Both of those things happen for a minimum of 3 years and 11 months longer than the end of the 7-year period, based upon just the 5th trumpet events and the 6th trumpet events, when the trumpets don't even begin to sound until after the 7th seal is open. And by the time the 6th seal is open, the 7-year period is over. So by the time they're given the 7 trumpets in Revelation 8, 1 and 2, the 7-year period is over. So, and the trumpets happen in the order that they're written. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 5th trumpet events last for 5 months. The 6th trumpet events with the 2 witnesses last a minimum of 3 years and 6 months. That's how long the ministry of the 2 witnesses lasts, 3 years and 6 months. Add that together, that's 3 years and 11 months outside of past the end of the 7 years that the time of great troubles will continue. If you don't believe that the trumpets and the bowls are greater troubles than the last 3.5 years of the Antichrist reign, something's wrong with you. All the plagues is going to be hitting the earth during the sounding of the trumpets and the pouring out of the bowls, and that's not greater than all the things that will happen during the last 3.5 years of the 7-year period during the Antichrist reign. That's not greater tribulations. It is. We only go through 3.5 years of great tribulation, and then we're removed out of the earth. Now, I have other videos on YouTube under my name, William Verdell. I have my teaching on the book of Revelation, and I cover all the views and all the scriptures they use on my video teaching on the book of Revelation. It's under this title, PT1, the letter P, the letter T, the number 1, PT1, the pre-rapture, the third coming of Jesus. You have the following titles, PT2, PT3, PT4, PT5, the pre-rapture, and third coming of Jesus. So you can go and watch my videos on the book of Revelation. I'll show you why the pre-trib rapture is wrong, the mid-trib. The post-trib is the closest to being right. They're still wrong. And the pre-rapture, a different pre-rapture view than mine, they just completely wrong. And it's very, very, very easy to prove them wrong. So go watch the videos. I hope that this is a blessing to you, that you would take time and study the word of God, that you will listen to my videos, and I will show you biblically in 3 different places how those trumpets and the bowls, which are the wrath of God, do not happen during the 7 years. I do another teaching also on Daniel chapter 12, verses 1 through 3, to show people that Michael doesn't stand up until the time of great troubles, and the time of troubles that never was. And it's verified by Matthew 24, 21, that the time of great tribulation is the time that has not been since the beginning of the world. Right? So when Michael stands up and there's a time of trouble that never was, that's the time of great tribulation. It says that at that time when Michael stands up, thy people shall be delivered. Everyone that's found written in the book, thy people, is not just the Jews. It is not only Jews written in the book. It's not only Jews that's in heaven. It's Gentiles too. It says at that time when Michael stands up, thy people shall be delivered. Everyone is written in the book. And then it talks about, and those that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake to everlasting life. Those that sleep in the dust of the earth, That means they were dead and they're going to awake. That's the resurrection. It says, those that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake to everlasting life. That's the resurrection. We're waiting on that everlasting resurrection of the glorified, resurrected body. And I teach Daniel 12, 1 through 3, for the simple fact to show people that there will not be a resurrection of any kind until after Michael stands up. And Michael doesn't stand up until at least the time of great tribulation begins. And the great tribulation begins at the midpoint of 7 years. So this thing about a pre-tribulation resurrection rapture, it's not biblical. It is not biblical. All right, this is Rough Bill. Hope y'all go and watch the videos, all right, that I referred to about the book of Revelation. If you got a comment, make a comment. I'll get back with you, right? And we can converse about the word of God. When this thing called the Abraham Peace Accords is confirmed, which started out with President Trump, and then he went out of office. A lot of people thought they would get rid of it, but they didn't. They kept the Abraham Peace Accords, paid Jared Kushner $2 billion. Him and Jason Greenblatt was the ones that worked this thing and got this thing put together. But they paid Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, $2 billion to put together the Abraham Peace Accords. And now they're up to at least 30 nations that have signed on to the Abraham Peace Accords. And just over the last 3 years, they're going to use the Abraham Peace Accords. It will be the covenant that will be confirmed in the Middle East. And it looks like very, very soon they will be confirmed concerning starting the 7-year tribulation period. Right? All right. So go and watch the videos. God bless you. Please share. Got any question? Please question me. Bye-bye. Oh, I forgot. I got to do my little spiel. I am the pastor of Winds of Change Ministries down here. If you're below Alabama, up here in Ozark, Crazo, Alabama. If you want to get in touch with me, hey, make a comment and I'll get back and I'll discuss the book of Revelation with you. But let me tell you something that I tell people that start discussions with me. And I'm not just trying to get you to watch my videos, but go watch my videos, because every time I get in a discussion with people, like 20, 30 discussion points later, I'm leading them to look at my videos. They say, well, I don't see this. Well, what are you talking about? There's 2 raptures in the book of Revelation and so forth. I said, you need to watch the videos. I've been telling them, but they just don't see it. Well, the book of Revelation is not in chronological order. That's true. But that doesn't mean that you can't know the order of the events of Revelation. So I refer them back to the video, because the very things they're asking me, texting out, messages this long to one question, to every question you asking me about what I teach on Revelation, it will be easier for you to go watch the videos, then come question me. Because everything you ask me, I'm saying it's on my videos on YouTube. It's in my videos on YouTube. It's in my 5 videos in YouTube. On YouTube. So watch the videos and then question me, then watch the videos. Either way, God bless you and bye-bye.